Welcome to JGod Gaming. In today's video, I'll be focusing on how to play Gibraltar on Call of Duty World War II, focusing specifically on Team Deathmatch. This video is designed to have a better understanding of how to use my spawn guides that I've come out with previously. So you might want to check out those videos if you haven't already, but this just goes in more detail specifically on this map. If you have suggestions for other maps you'd like me to cover or a specific mode, go ahead and leave those comments down in the comments section so I'll have a better idea on which ones I could prioritize over others. Keep in mind that the point isn't just for me to just destroy the enemy team or anything like that, or show how good I am or not good or whatever the case is. This is purely just for spawns. That's why I set it up with actually having with bots so that you can get an idea, and this is actually something you could practice on your own. You'll see throughout the video that I go back to this menu in the actual overall options where you can see the overview of the map. This is a good indication of where your enemy teams are spawning based off where your teammates are, and give you a better idea on how you want to influence the spawn so you can actually position yourself in a better way. Personally, I think the side that we just spawned on is the better side of the two sides of the map. So as you see, you'll navigate through. The first side that we just spawned on has a little bit better cover, and positioning wise you can catch people off a spawn a little bit better. This is primarily the power point of this position. Is just kind of rotate from this window back to the barrel, window back to the barrel, because people will continue to spawn from this section, and then just kind of cover your left side and your back. You can see someone behind me right there. But as you go around, you kind of just want to rove and protect this area since you got pretty good cover, and it allows you to navigate back and forth. So once I get that first UAV, the enemy team keeps spawning in this back corner in front of where I'm at, and then they're just going to continue to keep spawning and pushing through. You'll see a lot of times people, especially bigger YouTubers, when they're putting up these clips of how awesome a gun is or overpowered or whatever the case is, they'll show this particular power position. Not too many people are getting huge score streaks outside of this position just because this position is so much more advantageous than the rest of the map. So you'll see they're going to spawn in this back corner as well as in the back. So it'll just continue to flow that way until the spawns flip and enough of your teammates flip. So that guy on the left top, you're going to see he's going kind of into their spawn, so they should be flipping pretty soon where that care package came down. So immediately you can see the spawns have flipped, and now we're able to push to the other side. So as you can see in the corner that's been up there for a little while is that they actually have the spawn locations of your enemy and where you'll spawn as well. You can see that little green dotted line. Pretty much if a couple of your teammates, or even one if you really do it effectively, you can flip the spawns. Ideally, to control the map and control the better flow of how your opponents are moving and where you're positioned are, you definitely want to not cross that line. As long as you stay on the opposite of the line, you'll have a better idea of predicting where your enemy's coming from. If your teammates are in the right position, you'll have better controlling where they're able to move through the map. You'll have better positioning on head glitches, different things that'll actually differentiate kind of how you should play the map. In my opinion, the other side when we first start on is a better position, since on this particular side you almost have to push yourself out of cover to actually get to the enemy team. So a lot of times what you do is you want to focus on kind of looking at the mini map, making sure where your teammates are. You almost want to force push this one to flip because the other side is way more advantageous to actually push, since a lot of the sides have no cover where they're coming from. So that's really what you want to do. And to avoid getting trapped in these kinds of spawns, what you do is you want to push out of your spawn. Ideally, you want all of your team beyond this green line so that pretty much out of the spawn, they have the potential someone coming, maybe wrapping around. But if your team kind of pushes as a line, as a single front, you should have a better idea of where enemies are, and they should be kind of narrowed down to where they're spawning from since the spawns are so restrictive. So pretty much when we're on this side of the map, I know they're coming from this back corner. They really have no other option, and I can go ahead and peek on this right side over the window because I know they can come around and go up the ladder or walk up the stairs on this direction right here, and you can get easy kills this way. So as long as you have maybe 2 or 3 teammates positioned in the right positions, you're going to have better control of this map. And you just continue to do that. Every time I get a UAV, I get a kind of a snapshot of where they're coming from. But for the most part, since I know where my teammates are, there's really only 2 places the enemy team's going to spawn. So it's pretty predictable and kind of really positioning where I'm at. I already know I have a good position. This brings me to another tip about the maps in general, is those people on your team that want to camp the spawn really ruin it for you, because what happens is if you die and you're pushed forward, the enemy team gets to push all the way up to that green line. Whereas if they were pushed up a little bit further, your teammates were pushed up a little bit further, they would be able to have a better opportunity to stop the enemy from just running straight into your spawn and kind of locking you down. So anyone who decides, hey, you know what, I'm going to play slow and I'm just going to camp the back of my spawn, you're really screwing over your team because you set it up for them to get spawn trapped. Especially if you're not the greatest sniper or the greatest camper or whatever, you're really screwing over your team because at the end of the day, the enemy team will just be able to push up to this line. Like I've done here, there's no one really camping that back area, but if there was, pretty much they're just holding down and locking those spawns and almost ensuring that the spawns don't flip. Because if they're not in my line of sight and I don't kill them, they're still holding down that spawn and they will not flip. So you're really screwing over your team in general. So if you're one of those people, I highly recommend getting a better idea of how the maps work so that you're not screwing over your team, or educating people that just maybe don't understand how that works. I chose this map because in general a lot of people just don't seem to like this map, especially even from the beta. I've seen a lot of people complaining about how they didn't really like the flow of it. The map isn't bad. I think if you get in the right position and your teammates are playing smart and controlling the map the right way, this map becomes really easy to play and it can actually be really fun. But on the opposite side, it can be very annoying. So it really just depends on how you position yourself and control the map. I know objective gameplay, especially during the COD World League, no one wanted to touch this map. I think just because unfair, depending on what side you spawn on, it can really kind of screw you up, especially when you're trying to cap B. But that's pretty much all I want to talk about. That's going to be the end of the video. If you did like it, enjoyed it anyway, remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section, so go ahead and feel free to leave that feedback, voice your opinions of the videos. If you think I should continue making these types of videos, or if you prefer other styles of video, pretty make whatever you really want to watch, and I enjoy making the content. So if you do, go ahead and remember to leave that comment. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.